All right. Okay, let's try that again. All right. Bro, I'm cooked. We haven't even started, and my voice is in the depths. What's up? What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back to another live session. How are you guys doing today? It's 9:17. We got 13 minutes to the opening bell. CPOP pushing up. Remember, as you're tuning in on YouTube, to check out the disclaimer. Remember that day trading is risky. Most traders do lose money, so keep in mind if you're new to the markets to go slow in the beginning, practice, improve, and only after proving consistency does it make sense to increase your risk. Other than that, remember, copy trading doesn't work. Remember, my results are not typical, and I do not invest for my subscribers. In addition, remember to be careful of fake accounts in the chat room and on other social media. And lastly, be careful of fake advertisements as well. People are stealing their content and trying to run ads with it, so be very careful. A lot of warnings there, but yeah, here we go. So I'm a little red to start the pre-market here, down $100 on ELBM and a few others. EVAX wasn't able to get anything out of it, so a bit of a small red start here to the day. Keeping things tight though, not letting things get out of hand, which we've been doing a pretty good job of recently. So, what's moving right now? I left like 40 minutes ago because it was so slow. CPOP seems to be back down. PEPG, how are we doing? Looking at our scanners here. Pre-market high, or rather after our highs, we had 650s, and then we pushed up to 770. So far, it's been selling off. We'd have to aim for red to green on this one if we're to see anything. So PEPG, which is up 116%, not quite looking the best. Let's see, PSTV, as we come down on the list, which is up 56%. This one a little cheaper. This looks fairly good. Let's pull it up here. 56% move. Pre-market highs at 69.50, and we've been pulling back. The consolidation has been fairly tight, all things considered. Doesn't look too bad here for PSTV. Daily chart. Okay, there's resistance 200 EMA at 75. And then we have like a double, triple top around 87, 89. So 75, 200 EMA. And then 88, 87, 88 area resistance. So PSTV, we'll see. Although it does look decent right now, we do have some headwind, potential headwind. Moving down on the list, SPRC. SPRC. Let me clear the drawing set here. This is a stock we've traded quite a few times in the past. However, are we able to see? Are we going to be able to see a red to green all the way to the pre-market highs? How's the daily chart looking? Oh my goodness. 200 EMA at 10.04. 850 and then 1050. Okay, 850, room to 850 if it's able to get over the pre-market highs. $200 EMA at $10 on the daily chart. Not looking bad for SPRC. Just getting a couple of trend lines on these levels. And then over that, there's 1050 potential resistance. Yeah, okay. All right. SPRC looking interesting. So that's watching SPRC, PSTV. We can include the other one, PEPG, which also is on the scanner. EVAX, moving on to EVAX. How are we doing? Is it still holding up? We had pre-market highs all the way at 565, and we've had the sell-off here coming down. Lows of about $4, and we're in this range between 4 and 450. Daily chart. 200 EMA is at 483, which is worth noting. We'll have to get back above that level. So there's 4 minutes to go. I think these are the watch list stocks I'm going to have. Or is it 6 minutes to go? Watching EVAX. All right, there's the watch list. We'll see. Into the open, I'm not sure which one, but, you know, we'll keep an eye. And right now, the bathroom is calling my name. So, it's gonna have to be a quick one here. I'll be back in a flash. I'll probably be back at the open. So let me see. Which one do I want to watch real quick before I leave? I'll go SPRC, and then I'll have the others, you know, on standby. SPRC, I choose you. I'm also going to go to single screen, so when I come back, I don't forget. And then it'll be game time here. All right. SPRC, not a bad move to start. All right, okay, cool. Let me fix my share size. The halt is at 650. Right now, the key is, will we end up holding up our levels here? Will we end up holding up is the key here. If it's able to hold up, then we can retest 650, 620 perhaps. CPOP. I gotta catch my bearings here. For those of you who are tuning in on YouTube, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. CPOP, there's a high of 91. Let me see what everyone else is looking at. SPRC, how are we doing? SPRC is still here, you know, potentially back over 6 could be interesting if it's able to hold, although it has a pretty big range. I want to be careful of that range to the downside for sure. Over 6, a little bit of turbulence, not smooth for a retest over 15. Will it try again? I'm sticking to small size for now until we get something that's really holding up. I gotta rotate through to see the others. PEPG, how are we doing? PEPG over 6. I'm gonna keep an eye here. What was that high? 616. CPOP back up a little bit. CPOP over 2. Does it have what it takes to be the one to pull away 210, 215, 220? Or is SPRC going to be the one to break over highs? Still taking it easy here, waiting. SPRC back at the halt is at 637. So if we were able to get halted up, you know, maybe that could help us. Short sellers though definitely present. Can they get squeezed? We need to see at least like 620 on SPRC for it to be dangerous because it's coming down pretty quickly here at like 610. We're not really holding up. If SPRC goes, it could end up being pretty good. But we got to be careful of false breakouts early if it does push here. Holy shit, it's straight into the halt up. Oh, I'm gonna get a terrible fill there. That's fine. Small size. Over 15? Not bad. Damn, that was instant, right? All right, cool, cool. It looks like it'll get halted up. This is where it'll start here. That did not waste time. False halt, trying again. Yeah, I waited until it broke 15, which was like too late. It just instantly is up there. This is where it starts to get interesting, but it needs to not just resume sell off, right? If we resume and just sell off, then we're cooked. We got to wait for like a different stock. In the meantime, is anything else holding up well? CPOP doesn't really look that great, I'd say. It's fighting CPOP, but you know, we'll see. We got 3 minutes 36 seconds. Time for the dip and rip. The dip and rip to the moon. If this setup is good, especially if there's a follow-through trade, we should, after this resumption, within 2 minutes of the resumption, we should already be looking really good to where we could walk away on the day, right? If the resumption is nonsense, we have to be careful to avoid any like, you know, in between trades. There's only one trade to start, and if that trade is good, then there can be a follow-up trade. EVAX. Yeah, I just had this one up too. Pulled it off, switching through. EVAX coming down. It might still hold. I'm gonna try it again here. Small size. We got a minute 35 seconds to resumption. All right, good dip for EVAX. SPRC resumption is coming up here soon. We got 15 seconds. There's room to $7 here. And we're currently at 650. Will we see the dip and rip? Okay, all right. That's fair. It dipped immediately out of the resumption. Highs are at 84. There seems to be a seller here. There's a bid. There's a fight. Are we going to go up or down? 737 to halt up. Now 753. Not as aggressive as I would have liked right there. So, you know, we definitely got to throw out a few more trades. Although the instant drop on the resumption threw me off a little bit. We want to see a bit of a push, then the drop. So watching. Not the fills. Not the fills right there. The halt is at 73. We're seeing sellers low 40s, bigger size seller. And that was a terrible fill. Our candle has a bit of a wick and it's about to close. And we're closing below the pre-market high. We did hold up the lows, which was good. I want to be careful in case this is the end of the front side already. The halt down is at 640, 10 cents away. It could halt down here. It's extended a little lower, 32. It's halting down. None of the others have moved up. Not a good resumption for me. You know, once it opened up a little lower or I think sideways and then tanked lower. I didn't take that dip because I was a little skeptical of like an instant halt down. And I wasn't aggressive enough for break of 7. Like there's a trade 702 I could have been in, like, you know, ATCH. Let me check this one out. I needed to be a little bit more aggressive to chase the move. Is it worth going for a bounce out of the resumption? There could be something there, but high risk for sure. We had a nice 40-cent trade with smaller size. EVAX, how are we doing? And then we took a loss immediately. Yeah, what a big red to green out of nowhere. I don't know, is it worth trusting the stock though? You know, can we hold up and continue? It's still below the VWAP. Nothing looking good, I think, right now. So just waiting. There's a minute to this resumption lower. It does look interesting for a bounce, but you know, I think the risk will be so high that it might not be worth it. So I'll just stay on the sidelines and keep waiting. But I'd say this right here, these last 3-4 minutes of this stock out of the resumption. You know, if you're on the right side of the momentum and you capture this move here, honestly, the day could be already finished, right? Unless you really want to wait and see if something really good comes on later. The momentum has been a little sporadic. Sometimes we're seeing a hotter day where the stocks will continue for at least 30-40 minutes. And then other days we're seeing just like a quick 3-4 minutes of action and then that's it. So there's the resumption. It's going to give a small bounce. It didn't sell off immediately, just straight up, which is not bad there. So it's going to hold up the VWAP. CPOP in Davy Jones' locker. EVAX. Titanic. Right now we're on a bear flag. We'll see over time if anything happens. Oh, you son of a... Okay, that's crazy. It's fighting here. It is fighting for survival. I think I still got to throw out a few more trades at least. Rejecting the high of the bear flag time and time again. We got to get over 60, 60, and 70, really. 67, 65 for it to have a chance for the 5-minute candle to make the new high and curl back up. It doesn't seem like it's ready just yet. 730 is the next level, and then 765 high of day. Is that it? Still seeing some selling. Jeez. I haven't been able to get one dip in this range. Like, what is wrong with me? Am I getting old here? In that reaction time in the depths. I don't like that it's not instant up over 7. Damn, why you cannot get a good fill on these later entries. Later entries are cooked stew. The amount of times I'm out a half second too soon is insane. It's halting up. Bro. I'm going mad here. EVAX also curling up a little bit. So we're halted up. Let's take a look at the daily chart. The next level is 765. For me, I still missed a couple trades there. So right here is where I'm gonna have to make my money. And then ease off. There's room to 765, which is basically right where we are right now. So the next level other than that is 850, and then 10, and then 1050. It held up the first pullback, which a lot of stocks have been just selling off right here into this bigger dip. So that was good to see. And now it's full on red to green. Red to green. That last breakout, I'm out a half second too soon for a scratch trade. $2.50, 2 minutes 50 seconds for resumption. I'm not up massively, so I'm not going to use massive size. I'm going to stick to the same size that I have. And hopefully we can get the resumption to push a little bit and then give the sweet pullback. 2 minutes 28 seconds. If EVAX gets over 60, that one could also become interesting. The halt up is at 480 for EVAX if it's to get over the VWAP. If we can open higher, right? We're currently at 750. I'd like to see us open up, rip, and if it's there to dip and give us that sweet, sweet entry that we know and love here in MMU, I will be in like seasoning. The last one opened up and just flushed down right away. If it does that again, I'm not going to take it because there's risk there, right? There's risk in that first mini drop that comes is not the real drop, and then you could find yourself getting caught in like a 30-40 cent flush out. But you know, there's risk and there's reward. If maybe it drops and rips up immediately again, right? So for each trader, we all have to decide how we want to take it on for the setup here, how we want to manage risk. So we're currently at 7:53 and there's 20 seconds. Watching and waiting, SPRC. 15 seconds, no fear. No hesitation. Here we go. Can we get a dip? Can we get a dip? Fucking stock, bro. Fine, fair, fine, fine, fine. $40 for highs. It gave a bit of a dip, but you know, it wasn't anything much. Look at that. Bro, that is freaking stupid, man. Oh, wow, that's insane. It's holding really high after that last push. 917, now the halt up. We've pushed through 50, $10 the next level. Okay, not good. Small size there. The halt down's at 750 if it is to be backside. Lows at 788 so far. The halt is 10 cents lower at 50. There it is. Well, I missed every big area, every big breakout. And I'm flat on the name for missing every move. Out of the dip and rip, there was a dip, but you know, it was so small that I didn't want to push it. It ripped up 50 cents. Man, but these moves though, if you're not in on the move before it starts, like there is no getting in. You'll be in at the very top, which is risky business. EVAX pushing through 60, will it hold? That's the key question here. EVAX will not hold. Back to 50. Well, I call this a botch day. I mean, to not get anything on this one is like not good. It's terrible. It's awful. Oh, the way how these moves are happening is like the stupidest thing ever, but it makes perfect sense at the same time. Gotta be fully locked in and not overlooking indicators. In some areas, I'm like getting too much into the tape, and it's like at the very first sign of the strength, it's like it's already too late. Gotta zoom out, get in a little earlier, give it more time. And by more time, I literally mean like 2 more seconds for the areas I'm getting in on. But I'd say this is backside. I mean, unless it's really, really crazy strong, but we got up to the next level of 850, and we had all topping wicks over the resistance, or under the resistance. So the writing is on the wall. Of course, you know, people will keep looking at it, which will make sense just in case, but my hopes are not high in these markets where we're seeing like on and off stuff. I think it's been a great move, and it's more than likely backside. Not the place to be trying to be a hero. 26 seconds showing sideways. We got two topping wicks, so we got to be careful of the resistance higher. So far, though, it is curling up V-shaped style. V-shaped style. It's trying again. V-shape red to green. Wow, this is ridiculous, man. It's still strong. It's still pretty bullish. We just attempted a new high, although we did close below 50. So short sellers definitely could be aggressive here in this range. Shorting highs of 40s, 50s, and looking for the sell-off over time. Some people will cover right there and take that scalp. That's to 88, 85. The low of that was 68. So another topping wick. Our candlestick still has time to recover. Bro, why did I let that seller get me out? Horrendous fill. Not a good trade there. It's right back down. Right back down. Our candle closed fairly well, so I'd expect it to still hold and try again over time. But we could see low, like new lows though. Gotta be careful of that. We're gonna see new lows. False halt down. Can we see 75.80? I think it's still worth keeping an eye on, but you gotta be careful of the halt down, which is at 16. It is halting down. Alright, this might be the backside here. This might be the backside here. It attempted again for 850. All our candles closed again below the levels. All the short sellers who are in are getting paid as the longs are feeling the drop. Yeah, EVAX is just a little too choppy, I think. It's right back up. It's all over the place. Up and down like a seesaw. Yeah, EVAX, I'm staying on the sidelines here. SPRC, potential backside. Short sellers getting rewarded, 850. But you know, just as easy sometimes you can get the squeeze and then the bulls are in full control. EVAX fighting for its life between 450 and 470. 470. I do like that it's holding and not flushing all the way out. It is holding up the $0.50 for now anyways. We'll see if it continues to hold and try for highs. 23 seconds to SPRC resumption. No shares to short. Although it's holding. Okay. Man, it's a rough fill. Solid trade, rough fill. For now, it's still showing some fight. The lows are down at $7. The halt down's at 680. Unless the 5-minute candlestick is to make the new high over 8, I'd still say backside territory though. Backside territory. 5-minute candle struggling to make the new high over 8. The bounces out of the sell-offs have been actually pretty interesting. Checking out the chat to see if there's anything else being called out. Oh, holy smokes. Jesus. 40 to 810. Just like that. 40 to 810. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's less than a minute left in this 5-minute candlestick. Ideally, we'll want to push through the whole dollar here, but yeah. Stock has not sold off yet, despite the bigger sell-offs and halts down. So still keeping an eye just in case Sometimes you leave and, you'll see the stock up there, $10. But if it sells off, I'm definitely out of here. Out like out. Low of the last 5-minute candlestick was 40. And below that is the whole dollar. All downs at 95. Here it is. Official backside. Maybe. Looks like it. This is the place to walk. It is cooked, and the short sellers from 850 are now really enjoying the sweet gains for the ones who haven't covered for the earlier scalps. Well, it wasn't a great day here for me. I'll take the flat day and walk away tomorrow. Hopefully we see something else that's also strong. The way how these breakouts are happening these days are very interesting, but still very doable. But your timing has to be on par, especially on the resumptions. Whilst we didn't see, the exact dip and rips, there were opportunities there to be a little bit more aggressive, take a few more attempts and jump in. Ideally on the dip and rips, there's only one trade that I want to see. But these stocks these days, I tell you. But yeah, I'm gonna shut it down. I'm gonna take the flat day and get out of here. $200 will cover the landscaping here for the next 2 months. I will take the 200 bucks. For those of you going till 4 p.m., which I think about half the people will, continue to be disciplined, continue to be patient. It's 10:50 market time, still fairly early. So something else could hit the scans later in the day. If not the same stock sometimes, because I think the one yesterday, TNFR, I think it was. When I checked back later, I think that one got to 10 after hitting about $6 during the open. But yeah, we're seeing some selling in large caps as well today. Probably maybe for the next, 2 weeks. We're gonna see a little bit of selling. As we know, we've been sky high with the most recent rate cut. A little bit of selling for a stronger turnaround, perhaps. But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, the drop so far not looking bad. All right, I'm out of here. Stay safe, stay green. Check out the chat room. I'll post the link again here for those of you who might have missed it yesterday. Let's see. Let's fix that. Yeah, check out the chat room for those of you who might have missed the link yesterday. So, we didn't capture the move. I think at the very least, the good thing that we did was to not try to be aggressive in some of the other areas that came because it just wasn't worth it at that point. We're already like on the downside here. To be ultra aggressive in this area is just too risky at this point. The best place was this first push and then the second push. Everything else, you got to be very careful with the flushes, with the teleportation going down, and the halts going down. Well, yeah, there's the chat room link. There's the chat room link for those of you who want to continue the conversation in the day trading chat, as well as the P&L section. You guys can check it out. But tomorrow again. There's the resumption. Pastor shutting it down.